Sometimes you need to throw away your preconceived notions of a car and look at it with brand new eyes. If you do it with a Ford EcoSport, you will be pleasantly surprised. The 2019 model has had a refresh, which is exactly that. It looks similar to last year's model, but with a fresh twinkling of magic. I was in the EcoSport Titanium, which is top of the range and comes in for just under 30 grand, so it's hard to beat for value. It compares to cars like the Mazda CX-3, the Honda HR-V and Toyota CHR. I drove it with my family for 7 days to see how it does in day-to-day living. I think the biggest change that you can immediately see is that they've taken the spare wheel off the back of the car. It was a very 90s addition and it made the EcoSport feel dated. Without it, the exterior feels fresh and new. It tapers up towards the back and looks much more sporty. I like it. Inside, the EcoSport Titanium looks pretty good for a car in this price range. You'll get leather seats. It's not the flashiest leather, but still they look good and feel comfortable. A leather steering wheel. Plus you'll get a really nicely designed center console area with some matte black finishes, a bit of high gloss. You can tell they've budgeted a tiny little bit on things like the dash and the doors, but overall, I think it looks pretty good. It's quite spacious in here. Both me and my 185 centimetre husband had enough leg and head space, even with the nice sunroof up here. If you compare it to other cars in this category, this just feels like it has a bit more interior space. I almost feel like I'm in a medium SUV. I found the whole layout of the center console area quite simple and easy to use. It was really hot this week and sometimes all you want to do is find the air conditioning and you don't want to be fiddling around trying to work out the tech. This was excellent to use. You'll get 2 cup holders in the front, plus a few little areas of storage that are quite nifty actually. You're supposed to pop your phone in so it stands up like that. When I first saw that bit of space, I thought, how useless, but it actually fits your phone quite well. The center storage bin is pretty tiny, but then you also get this extra bit of storage here, so it all adds up. The back seat easily fit my 2 children who are aged 5 and 7. We had their car seats in here. They had enough space in between each other. I could just fit a 3rd child seat in here, but I probably wouldn't recommend it every day. It would be a bit hard doing seat belts up. Now, I am 161 centimetres and this is my driving position here, and you can see there's not that much room. So if a taller person was driving or if a taller person was back here, I reckon adults and tall teenagers might be strapped for space. But, you know, on the whole, it's pretty good. For a small SUV, I find it quite spacious. There are no air vents back here, but the front has something called Max AC, and it is extra strong air that blows right through to the back seat. It was quite warm this week, but my kids didn't complain a bit. Now, even though they've taken the tyre off the back of the boot, they've kept this side opening door, which I just find quite odd because you need a lot of space behind the car to actually open the door. And if you're reversed into a car park and you're against a wall, or if another car comes up and parks really close behind you, you won't be able to open the boot. Plus, it opens on the wrong side for Australia. So we are left curbside. You have to walk around the car to open the door. So even though it looks quite cute and it's a bit of a novelty, it's a little bit impractical. And with all seats down, you can apparently fit a washing machine in here. Don't volunteer that information down at the pub or you'll suddenly be finding yourself helping people move. One of the best things about the Ford EcoSport is actually the way it drives. I was really surprised because the engine sounds really small. It's a 1 litre EcoBoost with 3 cylinders, but I was able to easily scoot up hills and overtake people. And sure, it's not the most powerful small SUV around, but you know what? When you're just driving on the school run around suburbia and doing your normal everyday things, power is not really that important. I'd be equally as comfortable taking this on a long road trip just because of the size, because it is not so small when you get in here. It actually feels more like a medium SUV. But despite its small engine, it still uses a fair amount of fuel for a car this size, with a claimed 6.7 litres for every 100 Ks. But I still found the driving good. It was fairly smooth, the handling was good, U-turns were really easy with such a small turning circle, and it was easy enough to park with a reverse parking camera to help you out. The EcoSport has airbags to cover driver and front passenger, plus side curtain airbags that extend to the back row. It's also got things like blind spot monitoring and front and rear collision warnings, but it's missing newer safety tech like auto emergency braking and lane departure warnings. Still, for under 30 grand, it's not bad value. The tech inside is pretty good because it's got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard, so you can just plug your phone in and be instantly connected to the 8-inch touchscreen. You can use voice control to make phone calls and dictate text messages, so you never have to touch your phone again. I had a surprisingly good time in the Ford EcoSport Titanium. I really found it had almost everything I needed at an excellent price point. It had enough interior space and boot space, it drives really nicely, plus it's a big improvement aesthetically on last year's model. I gave it a family rating of 7.5 out of 10 because I thought it was really good value, but it was missing some of that newer safety tech. My children also gave it a 7.5. They were really comfortable and they love that colour blue. Like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel or click through to our website.